Welcome back to RBL Weekly. It's good to be back. I have been gone for a long time, and now so is Pat. Pat's in Austin, so stepping in for him is the incredible Doug Fager.
Thank you. Quick upgrade to Doug Fager for a week.
How you doing, Doug?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Good.
I'm excited. I know at least one of the battles on the countdown this week, and it is worth watching. It's really, really good. I think it's going to be a great show.
I'm stoked because I haven't seen any of these. And normally Pat is here and has watched all of these and taken diligent notes, and he gets to head it off. And this time, that's not going to happen. So I love it.
No.
Let's, you ready to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Our number 5 battle is coming out of New York City. It features Scott Hall versus Shosh Broadman. Let's check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, would you please start clapping your hands right now for Swoosh Broadman! Got it, DJ! How you feeling, yo?
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Oh, hell yeah! Fucking right!
Yeah.
Fucking right!
You'll understand when you see Scott.
Hilarious. Ain't nothing else to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Your next comedian coming to the stage apparently thinks he's from the New World Order in WCW. Start clapping your hands right now for Scott Hall!
Whose side are you on?
Mine. How you feeling, though, fam? You excited?
Good.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned earlier, round 1 is 3 jokes, tit for tat. Who wants to start us off?
I'll start.
All right, Scott Hall's going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 jokes, tit for tat.
Hello. Her name is Shosh. Shosh is named after the noise her dad makes when her mom tries to talk. Shosh.
There's a common phrase that you roast the ones you love. That's not true tonight. I actually don't know Scott because literally, why would I?
Shosh did a 23andMe, and it turns out she's 98% Ashkenazi Jew. Hold on. Shosh fucked 23 of my friends and me. Ew.
Thank you, Pube Davidson. Scott's beard is so shitty, he somehow looks like he was involved in January 6th and 9/11.
Shosh is such a stupid name. It's short for Shoshana, which is weird because I thought it was short for Shosh Your Tits.
Scott, you look like the kind of guy that would put peanut butter on his dick to see what the dog would do. Wait, sorry, it says you actually fell for it when your dog put peanut butter on his dick.
Give him a round of applause.
Scott, you look like if Robert Downey Jr. went bankrupt and never stopped doing blackface. Scott has a shitty Batman tattoo on his arm. Like Batman, he has no actual powers or talents. He's also adopted, so like Batman, he has no real parents. But unlike Batman, he's incredibly poor. Scott used to be in the Army. He also used to do ambush crowd work comedy in the park. In one situation, he was a violent force for evil with no concern for human life, and in the other, he was in the Army. Scott has attempted suicide twice, including one time where he went into the woods and stabbed himself in the neck. And he still didn't die. He's unkillable like a Rasputin with a tiny dick or something.
Thank you.
Scott went to jail for a year for a DUI. Imagine being so bad at trying to kill yourself that you accidentally kill someone else.
It's roast battle.
I can go now? Yeah. Shosh's mom has bipolar. There's a joke. Hold on. Bipolar is when someone gets like really excited and then very depressed. Like when Shosh meets a guy online, then he sees her in person. You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be at a PacSun asking people if they're doing okay? She looks like she'd wear a hoodie that says reparations is dope. She looks like a Kardashian, do you know what I mean? Like after guys fuck her, they dash in after fucking her in a car. Oh, fuck that one up. Shosh looks like what you get when you type normal into Pornhub. That's it. Earlier I said Shosh's mom has bipolar. Shosh also has BP, a blown out pussy.
You better be nice. You better be nice or I'm gonna stop giving you piss for those drug tests. Scott hosts a Joe Rogan ripoff podcast, which makes sense because Joe Rogan famously loves sensory deprivation tanks, and women call it sensory deprivation when Scott fucks them. So.
Shows for real though, she does have BPD. Her boobs are pretty disappointing.
So Scott's shitty podcast is called 69th Amendment, which is kind of a middle school joke. It should really be called the Second Amendment because you look like someone that would shoot up a middle school.
We came here together, I mean, like, I tried to try to kill myself because I was addicted. And if you ask Shosh what did that to her teeth, she'll also say addicted.
I know that you really do want to kill yourself. Might I recommend listening to your shitty fucking podcast? I know that I'm ripping on Scott a lot, but I really do believe that you'll have your moment of fame when all those women come out with their formal accusations against you.
NDAs. Shosh looks like she's transitioning in a country where it's still illegal to do it.
Scott is no longer in the army for the same reason he doesn't have a girl, because you fucking gay, bro.
Shosh likes to fuck guys that do improv because they're already good at using their imagination.
Brother, I wouldn't fuck you and I'm giving it away, okay? With all the crazy shit that I've mentioned about Scott tonight, that is all true. How are you not good at stand-up? Just a general question.
Give a round of applause, ladies.
All right. That was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There
They started off hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great first round, and it's, law of diminishing returns a little bit.
100%. Pat and I have talked about the 3-rounder a bit. I think actually the last time we co-hosted, did we talk about the 3-rounder and the structure of it?
Yeah.
I mean, we can definitely touch on it again. I think this was a good example of the strengths and weaknesses of a 3-rounder.
Yeah. You've got to have 12, 13, 14 bullets in the chamber ready to go. Otherwise, it's going to feel a little long. It's going to get a little, you'll just run out of steam. And I don't know about you. When we were doing 3-rounders for the main event out in LA, it was like you would kind of pick your round that you were of the first two. You had the like the champions round, which is the third round, and you wanted to save killers for that. And then you kind of like decided which of the first 2 rounds you were going to go really, really hard on. And then you would go like, all right, where are my mediocre jokes and where am I going to stash those? Round 1 or round 2? I was always a round 2 guy because I loved being able to like hit on a theme and go like, just go off on a topic and go right into somebody.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
But like how did you like try and break down the 3-rounder for yourself? Like, what was your tactic?
Most of the people I've talked to about it have said the same thing. Like, they would pick one to win. I just wanted to win both of them right away.
Strong move. That's makes the most sense.
Just wanted to get it over with.
Just win them all.
Yeah.
Why not just win all of the rounds?
Yeah. But really, it always ended up like I like a story arc in my rounds, and my second round, which I think you kind of hinted on, since you're doing your own jokes after joke, like there's no rebuttal. That's where I would pick, because a lot of times I'll write like 9 jokes of the same topic, and that's where I would hit them in that one. And so the first one would be, my favorite jokes that opened it, and then the second one would be usually on the same topic. I like to take them on a journey.
Agreed. And I talked about this with Pat, I think in the last pod, where it's like if you hit on the same topic and the jokes get better and better each time, it's like ×2, ×5, ×10.
Yes.
You get more points each time the same topic gets hit and the joke still works. I think Scott got a little of that in the third round with the BPD joke. Like,
yeah.
I forget, blown out pussy, something like that. And then boobs are pretty disappointing. And that was like something that like he could have probably hit a third time. Like if I were doing that in a second round as opposed to the third, I would have maybe tried to find like a veiled way to get the audience, lulled him into, he's not going to do it again. He's not going to do another BPD joke. That's not just, and then find a way to get there.
Yeah.
And then have him go, oh my God, he did it again.
Yes.
Like the more flips you can turn in the trick, then the better it hits. But they really came out swinging in that first round. It was really, really fun. I almost would have flipped those. It would have been like when we were doing 3-rounders, I would have put most of the stuff that was in the first round in the third round. And I would have put one right up top that was a banger, so that they knew that they could trust me. But then I would have backloaded some of that and and some of them just didn't work, but like they also had some really good jokes. And when you tell that many, some aren't going to work sometimes. And like we've had battles where it felt like everything was working, but like we've also had 3-rounders where it was like, ooh, a couple dogs in there, a couple, like.
Well, you have, I have.
That's
I'm not familiar with that.
Bald-faced lie.
No, it's not a lie. Because I haven't done that many 3-rounders.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Jay
makes
Light,
sense.
Pat Barker, I think that Keith.
That makes sense. Okay.
So
yeah. You just need more opportunity.
100%.
Throw some
Yeah.
stinkers in
We
there.
could reference
Yeah.
my recent battles where I had 5 jokes and had some fucking clunkers. So I am not saying I'm batting 100 at all. I'm just saying I got to go out on top for 3-rounders.
Shosh had the January 6th and 9/11 joke, which was really funny. The dog peanut butter was a nice
So good.
flip.
I thought she had, in my opinion, the best best joke of the battle with that peanut butter one. My only note on it was it didn't need the setup of I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. It not only didn't need the setup, but it followed him doing the same thing. So I was like, you should have ditched that and just did the peanut butter.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it was like
a
2 demerit on that one.
Yeah. But great joke. And I like how Scott writes. He's got kind of an interesting.
He's very punny.
He's very punny. He likes silly. I like writing silly shit. Like
Show me your tits.
Shosh your tits is so stupid. It is such a stupid joke, and
Doug
it's
laughed
perfect.
for a
and I
solid
love
20
it.
seconds.
It's so stupid, and I love that shit. He's got sort of an interesting take on things, just like a slightly askew vision on like joke writing. And he took like a couple chances. I feel like with like 23, Me and My Friends, like it's just not the usual take, setup, punch. He tried a few things, which I think is great. Like the more interesting you can make it, the more different you can be. Like when you do land those, you get extra points for it. So I thought it was great. You know, it didn't hit on all three rounds, but they had some bangers. It was good stuff.
Yeah, and Pat tells me that Scott has been battling a lot in New York, and he's one to watch. This is his first time on this show, but I guess he is a regular out there in New York. Shosh, I think probably we're going to see more of her in the future. I think she did a really good job of honing in on some very interesting things. Like, man, Scott is just a gold mine of shit. There was things where just in the setup, I was like, okay, this is hilarious. But then the punchline fell a little short. I think if she just spent the time really like mining that, milking it, like figuring out, because stabbing yourself in the neck, like there's so much there. I can't even remember the other shit, but it was like everything she said, I was like, he did what? What the, like.
Well, and what do you think's more important? Because sometimes I think a good premise is the harder thing. It's like if you can zero in on the
100%.
thing that like encapsulates them, then like getting to the punchline is actually the easier road. And so she did some of that.
Yes.
Yeah. She sees who that person, you know, like the
100%.
funny shit about him. And so,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, that's I think, yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that potential is there because half the battle is finding the good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, that was our number 5 battle. Our number 4 battle comes out of Toronto, and it features Kevin Campbell versus Sebastian Chow. Toronto, Kevin Campbell, Sebastian Chow. Let's check it out.
Battle! French cat, step let's roll! So Sebastian is actually half Chinese and half white, which means 50% of him is good at math, 50% of him is attracted to his cousin, and 100% of him is scared of black people.
Kev is a musical comedian, which means he almost does either one of those things.
It's actually funny he said pussy because Sebastian looks like the only Chinese guy who's never eaten pussy before.
Sweet and sour sauce, baby. It's house made. At his job, Kev spends all day inside an industrial equipment locker, which explains why he looks like such an enormous tool.
Sebastian looks like a 30-year-old man trapped inside a 14-year-old's body, which is exactly how you can describe his Saturday nights.
Oh, shit.
I won the Asian.
Thank you. Jesus. What's with you white people holding your arms out all night? Fuck you. Stop that shit. That's not right. All right. Anyway. Thank you for that one, French fry and Gosling. So this battle is actually thrown together at the last minute. So to help me prepare for this, Kev told me that his race was a mix of white and European. Kev, I shouldn't be the one to tell you this, but European is not a race. And if it was, it would still be white.
I'm Portuguese, it's spicy white.
Sleepy white.
That was Scott versus... Nope, not Scott. That was Kevin versus Sebastian. Fucking white guy names. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they were reasonably interchangeable in this battle. I had fun with this battle. I actually think that New York should have been ahead of Toronto in this. That I thought the last battle was a little bit better battle. The first three jokes, like that first round of the last battle was better than almost all three of the jokes. Each of these
definitely. I'm sorry. Our producer is shadowboxing right now, and I am so distracted.
No. It's fine. It's fine. But like, look, I was told that they only had 24 hours notice.
Yes.
And for 24 hours notice, it was a fine job. I think there was only one joke that I remember out of that battle, and that was the musical comedian joke from Sebastian Chow. Now, like, I think you can make memorable jokes in 24 hours. I think that you can write memorable jokes in 24 hours. And I know they're just getting started up in Toronto. I think so. Like, it was a good first run. I would have switched those first two battles though.
100%. You can blame Pat Barker for that. The commish. He ranks these. I just repeat the information. I thought it was very nice of Sebastian to bring his screenplay on stage with him. Why so many papers?
Lot of
3 jokes and 9,000 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And you only had 24 hours. He must have spent the entire
time
24
writing
hours
all those papers.
writing those papers. Yeah.
He's actually late to algebra class after this. Like, he's going to turn it in. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he does look like he brought his homework
100%.
on stage. Like, he was just finishing.
It's his essay on Huck Finn.
Yeah.
He definitely had ChatGPT write it for him.
Yeah.
But like you said, they only had 24 hours. And you kind of...
On a Mead notebook.
On a Mead notebook.
ChatGPT.
Well, no, that's what took so long, is he had to copy it from the computer.
That's true.
So
Make
it
look
looked
natural. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you don't hand in handwritten papers anymore. Anyway, we
don't
got
have to
off
fact check
No,
ourselves. This isn't about us.
But you touched on Toronto being a new city, a new roast battle league. It's one of the interesting ones because it's one of the only ones in the league that originated from the league, meaning Chicago, Austin, Australia, they all had existing roast battle scenes, reached out to us and was like, can we be a part of the league? Toronto, just the city of Toronto, I think the mayor reached out to us and was like, we don't have a roast battle, but we want to start it, and can we be part of the league? So they're little babies in roast battle, but they're crushing it. They're like boss babies.
Yeah,
they're Alec Baldwin's all the way. Well,
no, I respect it. I did Toronto start 24 hours ago as well? Or?
No. Just that battle. I guess they had lots
sense.
of cancellations.
Yeah.
So
well,
they did great.
Kudos
Great
to them
job,
for stepping
Scott.
up.
I did it again. Kevin and Christian. Great job, Kevin and Christian.
Sebastian.
Oh my God. Look, Scott was the guy that molested me from horse camp, so like now that name is stuck in my head and it's just getting me all over the place. Guys, you heard it here first. No, you didn't. I've said it a million times on all sorts of things. I wanted to make this even more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Should we go on to number 3?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think either one of these people is named Scott. So
Nope.
everything should be fine.
I'm actually very excited about number 3. Number 3 features one of our favorite LA battlers versus one of our favorite London battlers. She traveled all the way across the pond. Sorry for that. This next battle features the amazing Sarah Fattini battling the equally awesome Lee Hudson in London. Let's check it out.
It comes that time. It's your final battle!
This is Sarah Fattini, and the first time I was introduced to her, I thought her name was just Fat Amy. Fattini's a name from Iran, and Sarah really puts the in Persian.
Lee is born and raised in London, a city that has had a lot of bombings, which makes sense, because he too will one day lose a leg.
Sarah is a very publicly outspoken critic of the Iranian government, which is easy to do when you live in Los Angeles. A city, that's also very well known for weed, but if she ever goes back home, she'll really know the true meaning of getting stoned.
Drugs for the band.
Yeah, you would know about the Middle East. You're large, oily, and constantly bombing. Lee, sex with Lee is like wearing pants that are too tight. A lot of heavy breathing and usually ends in a yeast infection.
Thank you, Tranny DeVito.
You don't have to thank me, Lee. I'm not the cashier at McDonald's.
They're good people. Sarah's parents keep pressuring her to wear a burqa, not for religious reasons, it's because she has terrible skin.
That's true, Lee. I am Muslim, and you weigh 9/11. Lee, you're so fat and depressed, even the cuts on your wrists look like stretch marks.
Thank you, ISIS Barbie. Sometimes at Roast Battle, people do like really cheap jokes about if someone looks like, someone fucked someone, and I'm not above that. Sarah looks like if an ugly Persian person fucked another ugly Persian person.
That joke was a little long, but we all know how you suck at trimming the fat. Lee's dick is like the Grenfell Towers, burning and has a hard time staying up.
It's very insensitive, a lot of people don't. Sarah had an ovary removed, but technically she can still have kids, which is a lot like saying if Lizzo had a leg removed, she could technically still run a marathon. We know it's not going to happen. You've heard of an Easter egg hunt, well, Sarah has a useless egg cunt.
Lee looks like he went to private school this morning to have a wank.
The toilets are surprisingly spacious.
All right, that was great.
That was great. That was great. These guys they're two old pros. Lee's been doing it a while. I remember Lee being out here in LA doing it.
Yeah, he was at like one of the special events we did. We've seen him everywhere.
Yeah, and Sarah is an old pro. Like
Always. Pat wrote in the notes that she's been crushing it here locally and may be a title contender after. What's the opposite of yours truly? Just you?
After I steal the belt from
Kelsey. Yeah. Because Doug is up next for the title.
Kelsey this week?
Yeah, but I didn't know how to say like how you'd say like yours truly, but what's the opposite? Twos deceptively.
I don't know. I don't know.
I wanted to say it fancily.
We'll bring it back next week. We'll figure it out. But Sarah, Sarah's great. She's one of those battlers who, when I first saw her battle, I was like, she's fine, but has worked hard.
So hard.
Just consistently improved. It's not one of those things where like you are where you, just like anything, you're not where you start. and she has grown into one of the best battlers in LA.
100%. And I think one of the things I love the most about Sarah is her work ethic and how hard it's like she clearly cares about it, has put in so much effort and time and learned and grown and taken feedback. And I love that.
And no ego about it, like just kept working and growing, and it's paid off. This battle, they both had some great jokes. Large oily, constantly bombing. The cuts on the wrist stretch marks joke from Sarah might have been the best joke of the battle. Lee, I think Lee didn't have any holes in his responses or his jokes.
100%.
He was solid all the way through, really good at staying present and listening. Like half of the battle up there is hearing what they're saying about you and being able to respond in real time in a real way, because the audience wants to know that you're listening and that some of this is happening off the dome, and that, you know, that you're having a real interaction up there. And Lee was really great at that. I don't know who won this battle. I think they were both great. I probably would have edged it to Lee, but great work from both of them.
Same. I think that touches on something that I was thinking about during this battle is when you go outside of your comfort zone, leave your city, because to me, Sarah was a lot more nervous than we see her usually in the belly room. Lot more subdued. A lot of times she's very bubbly, like bouncy. And here I think she was definitely more nervous. Felt a little bit maybe like the fish out of water there. I think she did a really good job trying to do local references. I love that.
Have a wank.
Have a wank. She did like a tower reference that I don't know about because I'm not cultured. But I think that's something I wanted to, because you and I have both done battles outside of the belly room. And I'm about to do it in friggin' Tokyo next weekend.
And I ate shit.
Yeah.
I ate total shit.
It's hard when you don't know, because even like watching this, I feel like I have a vibe for Tokyo, but on screen, it's so different than when you get in the room.
Totally. Like Toronto, if you ever want some payback on some of the shit I just talked, just go find the battle of me at South by Southwest last year, and you'll be like, who is this guy to talk any shit to anyone? I ate a lot of shit down there.
Yeah. But
Austin.
You've gone,
Austin. Great city.
No, not fuck Austin. Fuck South by Southwest.
Thank you. That's right. I have heard that. Austin is fantastic.
Austin is incredible.
A great town, great comedy city. South by Southwest.
But when you're going somewhere else, is there a different way that you prepare? Are there other things that you consider? Or do you just go in like, fucking, I'm doing it the way I do it, and that's it? Or do you tweak it?
I might tweak like one joke, give a little tip of the cap to like whatever city that I'm in, something local, but most of the stuff, hopefully what I'm writing is universal enough that it'll work anywhere. So that's kind of the mindset. Funny is funny, and it's going to work if it's a good enough joke. But if I can find something that is specific to the city and it's as good as somebody once told me before a battle, because I had all the same jokes on one theme. And I had other jokes that weren't quite as good as the jokes I had on that theme. And I was like, well, don't I want to work in some of these other themes because it's going to feel one note? It's like, just tell the bangers, dude. Tell the bangers. And I try and it doesn't matter. If you have great jokes, they'll work anywhere.
All right. Well, I bet they would work in Denver. And that's our next city. That's a transition, yo. You ready for our number 2 battle? Guys, I'm so good at this. Our number 2 battle comes out of Denver. It features Adam Gilliland versus Devesh Patel. Adam Gilliland versus Devesh Patel.
All right, put some energy in the room for these two.
Wow, all right. Guys, I was up super late last night researching Devesh's ethnicity. I believe it's pronounced valedictorian. But no, Devesh actually is vegan. Yeah, which is the Indian word for gay.
You guys laugh at that? That's double offensive. That's triple offensive. Guys, I know what you're thinking, all right? Don't even say it. Adam and me, we couldn't sound more different, you know? I'm from California, you know? Adam, he's from Alabama. But I mean, his voice is very unique. I mean, can't you just picture him working at an auction, selling me for money? I certainly could.
Devesh, you sound like a speak and spell that was programmed to do a racist Indian accent.
Adam, what are you talking about? Well, guys, Adam is like 7 feet tall, you know? I actually think he could have been in the NBA. I mean, just looking at him. Doesn't he just look like he's pretty great at sexually assaulting women? I certainly think so.
Wow. You look like Harriet Tubman.
What? You didn't. You wouldn't, dude. That's it? This guy's throwing the battle. You guys can't give it to him now. I mean, that's ridiculous. He just Googled a person. That's ridiculous. I don't want to do it like that.
You should, yeah.
I'm not gonna. Guys, Adam looks like he's trying to manifest going on a cruise. Sorry, wait, I said that wrong. He looks like he has a manifesto about the Jews. I certainly think so.
Man, read it and weep, baby. Read it and weep. Guys, Devesh works in patent approval for a living, which is just one letter away from that which he yearns for most, his parents' approval.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm just goofing around, guys. That's funny. Adam actually works in sales for a software company, and he's really good at his job. I think he's just had a lot of practice selling underdeveloped software from all his years trying to get women to touch his penis.
It's my penis, guys. Devesh, you look like the hairiest contestant in the 7th grade geography bee.
The hairiest? Come on. Guys, Adam's a big fan of the Arctic monkeys. That is until he found out that wasn't a new racial slur.
I
didn't like that at all.
That's good.
Thank you. Let me tell you what, guys. Adam and me, we really couldn't look more different, you know? Adam's like 7 feet tall. But that means he can't even tell that I'm short, you know? Anytime he sees me, he just screams, 9/11. Why do you ask for one more? It's going to be my worst one. Don't you know that?
Yeah. No, I said a lot of dumb shit when I was your size, too, so it makes sense. Devesh looks like the legal analyst for the Cabbage Patch Kids.
I love Denver, man. Their crowds are wild.
Yes, Denver has some of the best crowds in the country. I love Denver. And Austin. I do love Austin. I take it all back.
That was fun. Adam looks like a child vampire. That's all I could think about the entire time.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I thought it was very interesting that it went into overtime because I thought Devesh took it pretty handedly. I thought Adam had some really nice moments and some good jokes, but I thought Devesh had, every hit and then his comebacks, like, it just felt like he was really hitting it.
See, I agree with it going to overtime. I can see why it did. I think that in the what's the white guy's name again?
Adam.
Sorry, Adam. Adam had the first 2 jokes. I think his hit harder. Indian for gay, the vegan joke hit really hard. The parents' approval, patent approval joke, really, really smart. But then Devesh came back with that manifesto about the Jews wordplay one. The setup of sorry, I mispronounced that gets used a lot. I mean, that's not taking anything away from it. We all use setups that have been done a bunch. It's if you can land it in a really funny way still, and he did.
Definitely.
Sometimes that doesn't happen.
We saw it 3 times already in this episode.
Right. So if you can do that and still make it work, then you almost get bonus points for it. Because I think it's like, oh man, I knew it was coming, but you did it in a way that still made me laugh. Underdeveloped software, anytime you can talk about somebody's penis and refer to it as underdeveloped on a grown man, I'm going to laugh, especially if they're 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And the best joke of the battle was the racial slur Arctic Monkeys joke.
Oh,
that was incredible.
So good. That made me out loud say, that's such a good joke, like 4 times. Yeah, that was a flawless joke.
So I could see it have gone to Devesh in the first round, but it was close enough that I understand it going to overtime. And then both of their jokes were okay. Like, they didn't hit that hard, but Adam did have the comeback
100%.
Of dumb shit when I was your height. It's
tough so good.
Well, and it's tough going first in an overtime.
As a tall guy, I thought that's what you were going to say.
It's a little bit of a tough pull when you go first in an overtime because you
100%.
don't have the opportunity to hit back in the same way.
Yep.
And Adam did. I would have probably given it a draw, given that Adam probably won the overtime, but Devesh edged it in regulation. I probably would have given it a draw, but it was really good. Really good work, guys. Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting. Adam didn't really have any comebacks in the regulation round.
Mm-hmm.
And then overtime he did, which I was like, oh, surprise.
Yeah. And Devesh was really funny off the cuff, too. Like, he also was really good at staying present. Like, when he called out, like, the last joke, not like I used all my best. Of course I used all my best ones in regulation. Like, I always like to see somebody just being honest in real time like that. And I
think that's what edged it for me in regulation was Devesh's in-between joke moments.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of the in-between moments because anybody can write a good joke. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's hard to be present in the moment.
Do you think anybody can do this shit?
Well, no. I mean, if you're on this show, you should be able to write a good joke.
Yeah.
Unless you were some of the battles we saw. No, I'm just kidding. They were great.
That's how I feel like, like somebody's kind of a pro, right? Like, it's that they can still, because you're thinking of a lot of things up there. You're thinking of your next joke. You're thinking of this person who just spilled their beer in the front row. You're thinking of the judges over there. Are they laughing? How hard is this hitting? What did they say? What am I moving in order? Like, it's...
Yeah. What is my body doing right now?
Yeah. And like, you're getting hit in the face too by somebody else's jokes. And you have to be able to continue to keep your ears unplugged so that you can listen and be present and not just parroting jokes. And they were great at that.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Our number 1 battle comes out of LA. Woo, finally. I feel like, I don't know, maybe in the last couple weeks we've had an LA number 1, but since I have been gone, I have not seen an LA number 1 in a while.
I was in the room for this battle and it was incredible. This is a really, really fun
This is
battle.
2
I'm
of my
excited for people to see it.
favorite people. This features our wonderful mulleted man, Bear Bedell, versus Evan Werner.
Last battle of the night.
Evan, let's rock!
Ding, 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 ding. Just want to congratulate Evan up front for meeting his ancestors on Ancestry.com. You know, Evan Werner is so gross that even his initials are ew.
Speaking of family, Bear actually has 2 twin sisters. He has no idea which one is the mother of his child.
The tests take a long time to come in. I'm sorry. Really good one, though, Scooby-Doo and Faggy. You know, Evan says he's from Hawaii, but he looks like he runs a gator farm with only they, them gators.
You know, I really like the cocaine bear thing you did, but if I knew we were bringing props, I would have brought your wife. Bear is married to a disabled woman. They keep getting in marriage disputes because he keeps putting truck nuts on her wheelchair.
Making fun of a disabled woman. All right. Make fun of disabled when you're one sneeze away from being broken.
I felt like I had to bring her up. I mean, my dick put her in the chair.
Dude. I don't buy that 1 cent. You might be a carpenter that looks like Jesus, but your dick never rises.
No, he's right. I am a carpenter. It's crazy because the only thing he's ever built is a court case.
You know, they say home is where the heart is, which is why Evan only creeps on homeschool kids.
Bear actually volunteers at the local school as a wrestling coach. That way he can molest kids violently. Don't you go home and tell mom and dad about his finishing move, the bear body bear hug.
Really nice, Steve Aoki. Dude, you look like a cracked out musician who tours the country just kidnapping their own groupies. You know, Evan's victims are the actual Grateful Dead.
You know, Bear can't sleep without a noise machine. It just plays NASCAR.
It goes left and left and left.
And over that noise, you can still hear him snore the N-word.
Coming from you. You know, hey, Evan. You know, Evan likes to talk about cars, but I actually love that Evan has a tattoo of a train on his chest. Yeah. It actually matches the fact that it looks like it fell off of the tracks on his arm.
Of course, Bear would never have a tattoo. He's so afraid of needles, he's anti-vax.
Dude, you don't even drink, but you definitely need a tetanus shot.
Dude, you like snort gunpowder, all right?
That's why my sneezes are fire!
I feel like we did it. Guys, keep it going. Evan Werner, Bear Bordeaux. That was fun. That was crazy
That
fun.
was awesome. That was more than I could have dreamed.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I scored it differently than when I was in the room watching it again.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So Bear almost didn't have a miss, it felt like. The Ancestry.com.
So good.
So good. How has nobody done that yet?
I don't know.
Pat and I were talking about that. How has nobody done that?
It was so, and for it to work when you look like Bear is like quadruple points.
Yeah.
Like pot calling the kettle black, holy buckets.
Yeah. These two siblings up there, and he's making an incest joke. At least they look like siblings. Now the they them Gators. These are two people who like look interesting visually and also write really interesting visual jokes. They Them Gators is an idea joke. It's like, yeah, it's a punchline, but it's more like the audience does the work and you just
it made you think.
Yeah, and you get like the residual reward of just thinking of what a They Them Gator, like what does that even mean? And you get to do all of the fun work yourself in the audience.
It's like, it reminds me of this might have been you, but the joke against Alex Hooper where it was all the characters of the Wizard of Oz. Was that you?
Yeah.
Where and then you think of like the Tin Man, and then you put the lion on top of that, and then you're like, oh my God, and like the more layers you add in your own mind, the better the fucking joke gets.
Yes.
And
they're both really good at that. And but Evan in the room, and he had great jokes. Evan is one of the up and comers in LA. He's one of the best young joke writers in Los Angeles right now. But he comes in with this swagger, and he does it almost every battle. He will do something where he makes it sound like he's got the biggest cock on the planet, and he did it to Bear. And if you can successfully make it sound like you and Pat also addressed this. I think he addressed it as a judge, that if you can make it sound like you put a man's wife in a wheelchair with your dick, and it works, like you're gonna steal the show. And he did with that. And also the NASCAR N-word joke, very smart.
Incredible.
Great joke. Bear had the Grateful Dead joke. The wrestling Evan had the wrestling coach joke, which was fantastic. And the tracks on the arm joke, the train, tattoo. I mean, it was just fantastic top to bottom.
See, for me, because I didn't watch it in the room, the wife in the wheelchair joke, maybe this is just me, but I was like, I don't fucking believe that for a second, Evan. Like, and maybe it was not being in the room, feeling that energy. So I didn't feel the switch of Bear to Evan as strongly.
Yeah.
I loved the Grateful Dead joke. To me, was like the perfect like sleeper joke where you if you listened, the audience was quiet and then they started to get it. And I love that when it's like, oh shit, that's really funny, and then you like hear one person start to laugh. The bummer with those in the room is the laughter gets stepped on then.
Yes.
If the audience doesn't have enough time. So I think that joke would have built to a lot more laughter if it had the time to breathe.
That's part of the dance up there too, and when you have like when you have a partner up there, because in the end it's in service of the show, and like when you let a laugh roll, because I've had that, you've had that, where like you were lucky enough to be on stage with somebody that didn't take the moment to cut off your joke, and they let it roll. And then you would hear it roll and then get bigger and then get bigger and then get bigger until the whole room is dying.
Yeah.
And that can get cut short sometimes. But like,
yeah, I think that was my problem with my last two battles. My opponent just cut the laughs off. They just didn't have a chance.
You can't cut off genius like that. You just can't
give it a minute.
Yeah.
Let me fan the flames of this shit joke.
Still fan.
I am so impressed with Bear. I have been many, many times, but he has really evolved from a comedy character into a true roast battle juggernaut.
Yes.
And this battle, I think, I think was his best battle ever. The jokes were fucking so good.
It's wild seeing somebody, and I'll just be honest, where like at first you're like, oh, I like this guy, little bit of a sideshow, right? Like, but then you see when you can take that sort of weird, interesting thing that you have and then integrate fantastic joke writing and stage presence, then you've got something, and it's so fun to watch. And he really has
way better than us boring fucking white.
Oh my
people.
gosh, so
like,
fucking boring.
So boring.
I just try and
I just write good jokes.
ways to be interesting.
bringing flowers for the audience.
Yeah, and it's too late for me to grow a good mullet. I think there's not enough Rogaine in the world. But no, Bear's really turned into one of the best battlers. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was a great battle between Evan Werner and Bedell. Bear Bedell. Guys,
Not
we
one
made
of them
it.
was named Scott this time.
No.
What's going on?
It's still in my head. Anyway, that was our battle.
Yeah.
You threw it.
Oh no, I did
No.
it this time. Oh no, I re-traumatized you.
You
this
did.
time.
It's fine. No, that was our show. It was great.
Yeah.
This has been RBL Weekly. Our next podcast is going to be in Tokyo. Yeah. Pat and I are doing a live Roast Battle League episode at the Tokyo Comedy Club next weekend. So check that out. It's going to be dope. I'm very excited about it. I've been Sarah Keller. You can find me at SarahKeller07 on all of the things. Doug Fager, where can we find you?
I'm Doug Fager. Yeah, you just said that, and you can find me at Doug Fager on Twitter. And I don't mess with the Instagram. I just do my thing.
I wouldn't either.
Do my thing. That's it. Thanks, guys.